before I go to sleep. I mean, to get him out of my head, to get the news that I watch all day out of my head. So there's no transparency. It wasn't there with his tax returns, you know. Didn't people think, what is he hiding? And I read an article the other day that talked about 18 to 29-year-olds. 1/3 of them are not going to vote.
You thought Barbra Streisand was just a legendary singer? Well, she just went nuclear on Donald Trump during a live broadcast, comparing him to a walking, talking parody of himself. And we've got all the juicy details. The Hollywood icon didn't hold back one bit, ripping into everything from Trump's border policies to his climate change denial. Streisand even said his leadership is like assembling IKEA furniture without instructions. And honestly, that might be giving him too much credit. Did you know Barbra Streisand has been holding back on Trump for years? Well, the gloves are officially off. The legendary diva finally decided enough was enough and unleashed a verbal smackdown that left viewers' jaws on the floor. After years of watching Trump's antics from the sidelines, Streisand came out swinging with the precision of someone who's been rehearsing these burns in the shower for half a decade.
Think and feel when you watch Meryl Streep last night talk about a man who's going to be our president mocking someone's disability.
It's easy enough to see the video online of Trump mocking. You just showed it, actually, and I completely agree with Meryl. He has the need to talk back and insult anybody who doesn't agree with him.
While most celebrities dance carefully around politics with PR-approved statements, Babs went straight for Trump's jugular. She compared him to a walking, talking parody of himself, which is pretty accurate considering the guy basically does SNL's job for them these days. But she didn't stop there. What made her takedown exceptional wasn't just the passion behind it, but how surgically precise she was in dissecting everything wrong with Trump.
Every time this president said something that wasn't true, I just had to eat pancakes.
But that's why you can't trust anything he says, because if you get on his wrong side, you know, he will...
I have such a passion for America, for my country, and I was trying to speak my truth.
Streisand specifically targeted Trump's infamous inability to handle criticism from strong women. We've all seen how he melts down faster than ice cream in July whenever a powerful woman challenges him. Remember his reactions to Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, basically any female journalist who asks him a real question? Barbra clearly took notes on all of this and formulated the perfect attack strategy.
Where shall I start? Well, it's been said that Jewish women are known to speak out and tell you what they think.
Blast you negatively. And
well, be
by
prepared.
the way, could you understand
be
why
prepared,
he would have
Barbra,
had...
he's coming.
I'm so tired of hearing Trump put down America, saying make America great again, because America has been great.
But this wasn't just about policies or politics. Streisand went after Trump's entire persona. She questioned his basic ability to distinguish fact from fiction, pointing out how he's created an alternate reality where he's always winning even when he's clearly losing. The way she described his leadership style was comedy gold, comparing it to watching a raccoon argue with a garbage bag, both chaotic and ultimately pointless. Things got even spicier when Barbra joined the growing chorus of voices questioning Trump's mental stability. She's not alone here. Remember all those mental health professionals who've raised concerns about his fitness for office? Streisand amplified these worries with her trademark dramatic flair, suggesting that Trump's behavior isn't just annoying, but potentially dangerous.
My God, now the photographs in my head, the pictures, you know, the children being ripped out of the arms of their parents.
He had a New Year's Eve party, but he wasn't generous enough to give that to his followers.
Sane people can agree to disagree in a very civil conversation.
What shocked even longtime fans who've followed her political commentary for decades was the sheer intensity of her criticism. This wasn't polite disagreement. This was Barbra Streisand, cultural icon, absolutely demolishing a former president on live television. People who've known her to be outspoken but measured were stunned by her willingness to go nuclear. The most devastating line in her entire takedown came when she discussed Trump's bizarre ability to fail upward, despite bankruptcies and scandals that would destroy anyone else's career.
How many people in the audience are Republicans? And a lot of people raised their hands.
You know, as a president, he had to charge for it and then put that money into his club. I mean, don't you think that's a...
And I said, sure, you're the ones who could afford these tickets.
It's a point that hits home because it's so plainly true. The man has failed at selling steaks, running casinos, and operating an airline, yet somehow convinced millions he's a business genius. Streisand called out this bizarre American phenomenon, where some men are rewarded for their failures while others never get a second chance. Perhaps what's most interesting about Streisand's brutal honesty is how it opens the door for other celebrities to follow suit. When someone of her stature decides to take the gloves off, it gives permission for others to do the same. The celebrity anti-Trump train is leaving the station, and Barbra Streisand just upgraded it to high-speed rail.
Before I go to sleep. I mean, to get him out of my head, to get the news that I watch all day out of my head. So there's no transparency. It wasn't there with his tax returns, you know. Didn't people think, what is he hiding? And I read an article the other day that talked about 18 to 29-year-olds. 1/3 of them are not going to vote.
That celebrity anti-Trump train didn't just gain speed. It took a heartbreaking detour through America's border nightmare. When Barbra Streisand started talking about Trump's immigration policies, something remarkable happened. The legendary performer who spent decades mastering her emotions on stage suddenly couldn't maintain her composure. The children being ripped out of the arms of their parents. I couldn't, Streisand confessed, her voice cracking with genuine emotion. We walked around kind of numb. I'm still a little bit numb because I can't believe it happened.
This is a terrible problem the Republicans and this administration have wiped off. What do you mean? Just think about climate change. What's going to happen to your future, your children's future?
This wasn't just another celebrity having opinions about politics. This was Barbra freaking Streisand, the woman who's performed for presidents and royalty, admitting she was literally left speechless by the cruelty she witnessed. When someone who's seen it all throughout her decades-long career admits she was stunned into silence, you know something truly horrifying was happening at our border. What made Streisand's reaction so powerful was how she connected Trump's border brutality to her own family history. I have such a passion for America, for my country, and I was trying to speak my truth, she explained. For Barbra, this wasn't just abstract policy, it was personal. Her own family came to America as immigrants seeking better lives, which made Trump's demonization of today's immigrants feel like an attack on her own heritage. The contrast between Trump's wall obsession and Streisand's own approach to security reveals everything about their different worldviews. I have a beautiful wall with a gate where you can knock and ask to come inside, she pointed out. See what she did there? In one elegant sentence, Barbra destroyed Trump's entire border philosophy. You can have security without being cruel. You can have boundaries without being heartless. But apparently those concepts were too complex for Orange Donnie's very stable genius brain. Most celebrities try to stay politically neutral to avoid alienating fans. But Streisand demonstrated that some issues transcend politics and enter the realm of basic human decency. The images of children in cages separated from their parents with no plan for reunification wasn't a policy disagreement. It was a moral abomination that spoke volumes about Trump's character. What's especially fascinating is how Streisand connected Trump's treatment of immigrants to themes in her own music. Throughout her career, she's written and performed songs about compassion, empathy, and human dignity, the very values Trump's border policies trampled. When she described feeling numb and in tears watching these policies unfold, we witnessed something rare in celebrity commentary: genuine heartbreak over what America was becoming under Trump's leadership. The emotion in Streisand's voice revealed something that MAGA supporters tried desperately to ignore. These weren't just abstract policies being debated on cable news. These were real children suffering real trauma that would affect them for the rest of their lives. And all for what? So Trump could throw red meat to his base and pretend he was being tough on immigration? Beyond the border tragedy, Streisand's fury about Trump took aim at something that affects every living creature on Earth. As if separating innocent families wasn't cruel enough, Barbra couldn't stay silent about Trump's assault on scientific truth and our planet's future. When the interviewer asked about climate change, something changed in Streisand's demeanor. a combination of genuine fear and maternal concern emerged as she posed a haunting question. What's going to happen to your future, your children's future? This is a terrible problem. But what really got Babs fuming wasn't just Trump's denial of climate science. It was his administration's systematic erasure of facts. The Republicans in this administration have wiped off all of the information about climate truth, she revealed, referring to the Trump team's disturbing habit of scrubbing government websites clean of climate data that contradicted their fossil fuel fantasies. Imagine being so threatened by reality that you need to delete it from official websites. That's some next-level insecurity from our former president. The legendary singer didn't stop at criticizing policies. She went straight for Trump's intellectual capabilities. In her view, the Orange Wonder simply lacks the basic mental equipment to process scientific information. It's like watching someone try to solve a Rubik's Cube while wearing oven mitts. Entertaining, but ultimately sad when that person controls nuclear launch codes. Then the interview took a fascinating personal turn. Streisand revealed something deeply intimate about her passionate stance against dishonesty. I was lied to as a child. That's why I'm so passionate about lies and people who lie. This wasn't just political disagreement anymore. This was Barbra connecting childhood trauma to her visceral disgust with Trump's relationship with the truth. No wonder she finds his constant stream of falsehood so triggering. Her frustration extended beyond the man himself to the millions who believe him, despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. How can so many Americans put their faith in someone who lies about things we can verify with our own eyes? It's like watching your friend insist the sky is green while standing outside on a clear blue day. At some point, you have to question what's happening in their brain. What really set Streisand's critique apart from typical celebrity Trump bashing was her profound concern for how his presidency has normalized dishonesty in our political system. Remember when politicians at least tried to make their lies believable? Under Trump, blatant falsehoods became so routine that fact-checkers needed therapy sessions just to cope with the workload. But Barbra saved her most damning assessment for last. With the perfect combination of wit and devastation, she compared Trump's approach to climate leadership to assembling IKEA furniture without instructions. Except the furniture is democracy. Just picture Trump sweating over a half-assembled democracy, holding extra screws in his tiny hands, wondering why the whole thing keeps collapsing. Except the consequences aren't just a wobbly bookshelf, they're rising sea levels, deadly heat waves, and a compromised future for generations to come. Democracy isn't the only thing Trump's managed to break. He's also shattered the unwritten rule that celebrities should stay in their lane when it comes to politics. How did a man who desperately wanted Hollywood's acceptance become the one person almost universally rejected by it? The pattern in how Trump responds to female critics like Wanda Sykes and Rosie O'Donnell speaks volumes about what really triggers his infamous Twitter tantrums. Streisand might bring the theatrical flair to her Trump takedowns, but she's just one star in a galaxy of celebrities who've made roasting the former president a regular part of their repertoire. While Babs delivers her critiques with that legendary vibrato, comedians like Wanda Sykes inject their own brand of brutal honesty that hits even harder.
Jimmy, I'm a black woman and a lesbian. How the hell you think I'm doing? Why you bringing us into this? They got gay couples selling like, just freaking sell your stuff.
It went this way, why Americans voted the way we did.
Sometimes America is just gonna America, you know?
Sykes absolutely demolished Trump's self-proclaimed business genius, pointing out that the man treats bankruptcy like a punch card at a coffee shop. Just picture Trump standing there with a little card getting it punched for each business failure. 6 more bankruptcies and I get a free hamburger. The comedian didn't stop there, highlighting how this supposed financial wizard was handed a fortune by Daddy Trump.
Be excited, your guy Trump won the election. Congratulations.
Too soon, Jimmy. Too soon. Don't bring us into this.
Cheerios. I knew they were responsible for something. Do you expect a cabinet position? I mean, how have you been able to digest this?
And still managed to squander it spectacularly. As Sykes put it, this guy could somehow bankrupt a lemonade stand, yet still struts around like Warren Buffett's smarter brother.
I think, a lot of us aren't like totally shocked. But it's like, okay, you get your hopes up. It's like, what are y'all doing? It's just cereal. Just sell the damn cereal. Like Cheerio commercials and showing all those interracial couples. You scared the out of white people.
What's fascinating about these celebrity takedowns is how they all zero in on the same fundamental issues. Whether it's Streisand, Sykes, or dozens of others, they're all questioning Trump's basic intelligence, honesty, and whether he possesses anything resembling human decency.
I know they say he's passing gas and everything in the courtroom. So I like that I'm watching it from home.
On a more positive note, are you enjoying the Trump trial?
I am enjoying the Trump trial. So that's what happens when you're old. You fall asleep and you toot a little bit. I don't think I want to be in that room, But the thing is, he's old.
It's like they're all independently reaching the same disturbing conclusion after observing the same unstable specimen. But no celebrity feud with Trump has been more revealing than his years-long battle with Rosie O'Donnell.
And he is an evangelical preacher to people who believe that Celebrity Apprentice was true, telling women to get down on their knees. Mark Burnett owns the cache of all of Trump's sickness, and Celebrity Apprentice was not true. And Mark Burnett has tapes of him calling people every racist word.
Their conflict provides the perfect case study in how Trump responds when strong women dare to challenge him. O'Donnell didn't mince words when describing what it's like to be in Trump's crosshairs, revealing that he attacked everything: my physical appearance, my sexuality, my parenting, my wife.
When he is upset and humiliated and embarrassed, he has no control and he goes apeshit. Every single day he just grants my perception of him as correct. It's very interesting. I expect nothing but the lowest bar for Donald Trump. And
you made jokes about him, that a man would go after you the way he did and call you the things he did.
Notice the pattern? When Trump can't counter the substance of criticism from women, he immediately goes for personal attacks that have nothing to do with the original point. What's remarkable is that these celebrities aren't coordinating their efforts. They're each using their unique platforms and styles to highlight different aspects of the same deeply flawed character.
Who don't ever really diagnose people that they don't serve personally, came together and made a book, Duty to Warn. And Duty to Warn was a book that came out when he was first in office.
Trump was watching that day in Trump Tower. Somebody told him. He phoned into ABC threatening to sue the network. Rosie O'Donnell wanted to come on. She's a friend, actress, activist, and has perspective on where we are right now.
Streisand brings gravitas and emotional depth. Sykes delivers razor-sharp comedic precision. And O'Donnell brings the raw honesty of someone who's witnessed Trump's vindictiveness firsthand. It's like watching different specialists examining the same patient and all coming back with equally concerning diagnoses. The real power comes from the cumulative effect. Individually, each celebrity critique might be dismissed as partisan entertainment.
Made a book, Duty to Warn, to tell the world what a narcissistic, mentally ill person he is. And, he is the kind of person that is a grifter.
But together, they paint a devastating portrait that aligns perfectly with O'Donnell's assessment of Trump as a cruel, criminal, and mentally unstable man. When people with vastly different backgrounds, experiences, and communication styles all independently reach the same conclusion, it becomes harder to dismiss as mere political bias. So what happens next in the Trump-Streisand showdown? Well, based on his track record, we can expect the former president to fire back with his signature style. Personal attacks about Barbra's appearance rather than addressing her actual criticisms. Trump's got a well-documented history of melting down when strong women challenge him, typically responding with childish insults instead of substantive arguments. The real entertainment value will come from watching whether Trump can resist taking Streisand's bait. Will he unleash one of his infamous Twitter tantrums? Or is Barbra, with her legendary status and millions of devoted fans, one of the few celebrities who might actually intimidate him? Either way, this feud highlights how far beyond normal political discourse we've fallen when A-list celebrities feel compelled to speak out this bluntly against a former president. The ball's in Trump's court now, and let's be honest, restraint isn't exactly his strong suit when it comes to celebrity feuds. Grab your popcorn, folks.